Yeah, hi. Is this Middlebrow?
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Middlebrow podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Brian Park.
I'm Dan Rosen.
And our LA sabbatical continues.
Continues, yeah, our journey through the depths of entertainment.
We just had lunch at one of
Sqirl.
your favorite places,
I didn't
Sqirl.
say favorite. Whoa, you're putting words in my mouth. I wanted a bowl. I took you to Sqirl. It's maybe overdone.
It's
but
a very... this place is...
have you been to Sqirl?
Overdone. Of course, yeah.
It's very like 2016, which is fine.
Super.
Yeah.
I have the cookbook.
Yeah, you got the cookbook, and they have good bowl. I wanted a fucking bowl.
This is a place of extremes. There's a fraught tension to LA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's good for the spirit to be thinking about your vanity.
No, I think in New York, you look
This
at
much.
like Benny Blanco dating Selena Gomez, and you're like, how's that a thing? And then you actually realize here that's the norm.
Yeah.
It's just every dude is Benny Blanco, and they're just dating a 10, and you're like, what is going on?
Benny Blanco is a cutie, though.
Okay. Our guest is going to get in trouble because he probably knows Benny Blanco.
No. So, listeners, if you are watching on YouTube, you're going to see that this is a great spot that we're recording from.
Yeah.
This is our guest, Deaton Chris Anthony's recording
Studio,
lair.
Willy Wonka, Pee Wee Herman. It looks
great
like, for
description.
those listening, it's like one of those, 1940s operator labs.
But now that we're in LA, we're in the belly of the beast. I'm proud to say, I'm sure our guest is going to dispel a lot of the stigmas that surround LA.
Mm-hmm.
Your guest this week is a very talented music producer, but actually multi-hyphenate.
Multi-hyphenate.
He kinda
And
does a little
musician
bit of everything.
in his own
and
right.
a musician in his own
Don't
right.
say- he has his own shit, dude.
I'm sorry. Apologies. Give it up for Deaton Chris Anthony, everyone.
Yo.
What's
Welcome.
good?
Here we are.
Thanks for letting us into your lair. You're a hoarder, and you have the excuse of being a producer, so you can just pretend it's your job.
Is it because you're staring into that room?
No, I'm looking at your fucking like 500 synthesizers that you like mortgaged.
So true.
I'm sure your business manager just hates you. You're just like any check just goes directly into
That's
just
it for
some
sure.
sicko in a basement has been hoarding.
Like one step away from a train collection or Pez dispensers or
It's just, again, it's sanctioned because it's your quote unquote job.
yeah.
So you've let it. There's always just another synth out there.
Oh, 100%. And I'll refuse to talk about that. My synths are my friends.
We won't
Some
slander
people
them.
say that. Some
Yeah.
people say that.
Some
their
people say
synths
that?
are their friends.
Synths are their friends,
absolutely.
okay.
Those people.
But are you okay with the LA slander that we're bringing to the table?
I think when we're talking about Sqirl, I think your assessment's right. It's a love-hate relationship. Now that you have Courage right down the street
I know.
that totally stole the line. That's
Yeah.
just the truth.
They just moved. And one day
And then
they were waiting in line,
probably
and then they look
one more
across the
block.
street, and they're like, "All right, time to go to Courage and have a bagel that looks like a farmer's market threw up on it."
Yeah, when I first moved to LA, and it was like Sqirl was the shit, and it was like the line wrapped around all the way up the hill.
Yeah, we got in, no line today.
Moldy Gem scandal. There's no coming back from that. Deaton, when did you move to LA?
2017 was like the official, like, move to Los Angeles. Like, I'm gonna
Okay.
do it.
I have so many questions because your A&R manager sent us a little cheat sheet.
Okay. Yeah.
So you grew up in Kansas.
Thanks, Noah.
You grew up in Kansas, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As all great Californians do, I think, grow up in the Midwest.
This is the Midwest Pipeline. Is
You just had to get the
serious.
fuck out.
Yeah, it is.
Well, first and foremost, Deaton's not even it's a persona.
Yeah,
Deaton Chris Anthony.
absolutely.
It's not your real name.
Are we getting a persona right now?
No. Those days are over. But that was really like what brought me here.
Is to live out your DCA, Deaton Chris Anthony truth in LA.
100%. There was
So-
something so exciting.
So were
about
you
it.
Deaton Chris Anthony in Kansas at any point?
At the very end?
Okay.
And it was.
And your
it
friends
was
are like, "What the fuck are you
No,
doing?"
I'm
Bro.
not even kidding. Because I basically.
You're like, "Are you transitioning?" You're like, I'm just
I'm coming out as Deaton Chris Anthony.
coming out, and I'm really into synths now. I'm like, okay.
That's so funny you say that because it's true. I had been making films like prior, and I got obsessed with this idea of doing like a psychedelic rom-com. And at the time, this was 2013, so Vine was very obviously so active, and it was really popular to revine people singing bad.
Okay.
That was like maybe the
That was-
funniest thing that
that anyone
it's
had
a
ever
little
done.
cynical, but
Like
you know,
William Hung. Do you remember that guy?
very like American Idol.
Yeah.
yeah. Like take that to the like in a bedroom, weird lighting, and it's got like the most revines you've ever seen. And so I was obsessed. I was like, I need to make my own. And so then I started doing these covers of like Weezer and Evanescence, like, and my friend was just like, what's this guy's name? And I took a second. I was like, Deaton Chris Anthony. He was like, what
Okay.
the fuck? Like, where does that come from? And I was like, I don't know. It was the first name that came to me, and it was just.
It sounded like a record producer.
I mean, no, it was like well, I had a friend in middle school named Deaton. So like Deaton
Okay.
Yeah.
wasn't just like I knew a Deaton.
You knew a Deaton. Waspy ass name.
Crazy name, right?
Yeah.
I think it kind of fits though.
I
Like,
I
feel
can
like
the
a
idea,
Deaton.
like
I look like a Deaton, I think.
You look like I don't know what
I
didn't
feel
have
like
a
a
mental
Deaton more than an
picture
Andrew, for sure.
of what Deaton.
but in Kansas, you're an avid bowler.
Yeah.
You had some
You
pro
look,
bowling.
I can see the
greens.
bowling.
Oh yeah. I mean, dude, this is the whole thing. Like Kansas is exactly what you imagine. I mean, I'm like 5 minutes from just cornfields, very suburban, very safe. It's either like you're gonna play sports or you're gonna like wander off into weird pathways, you know.
Yeah.
So
And you wandered off into weird sports.
I think that was the case. Like I tried soccer when I was little. Felt like it wasn't for me. I found skateboarding, and that was really like I started to actually find an identity for myself. But then on the side, my parents would go bowling, and so they would put me at the end of the alley, and so I would just like crush 20 games by myself. And they
love
got me a
it.
SpongeBob ball, and like I was super into it
There's that one pro bowler who's a big meme, Pete Weber, I think.
for sure. Who do you think
Who
you
do
are?
you think you are? I am.
am.
But there's this other clip that I go to whenever I'm feeling down.
Yeah.
And he goes like, I think it was like in his retirement, like press
Yeah.
conference with ESPN. He goes, "Love me or hate me, you watched."
I mean, he's incredible.
That's kind of a mantra of our age, actually.
Who's
me or
bringing
hate
that
me.
type of?
That's like Kim
swag,
Kardashian energy.
like-
That's like the core of our culture right now. Is like
Love me or hate me, you watched.
attention is all that matters. Actually,
I kind of feel bad because I feel like it's you got to take bowling seriously. I'm on this team of like you got to take it.
do you still
seriously.
play?
Oh
You
yeah.
still roll?
Oh yeah.
Do you ever
And
get invited to like a birthday party and then people don't know that you bowl?
It's my
and they're
biggest
like,
fear.
Jesus
It's
Christ!
actually my biggest
like
fear.
relax,
It's like-
dude.
Dude.
Come on, just like we're having fun here. You're just
It's-
like
it's
They're playing with
complex.
without the
Dan,
gutters.
you're joking, but Deaton is taking this very
I know,
seriously.
I know.
This is an incredible pivot. So you're bowling 20 games in Kansas, yet in the back of your mind, you're like, there's got to be another world out there.
There has to be something beyond the alley.
Something beyond this alley. But you mentioned that you skateboarded.
Yeah.
Dan and I have noticed this. Like, naturally, I feel like maybe because you're just filming a bunch, like that leads to a lot of pathways into music production or
100%.
DP work.
Well, it's like it's my mom is super creative, as well as my dad. Like my dad's the engineer, my mom's the artist. So I feel like I got all my chops from my mom musically, but then sort of what you're seeing is the reincarnation of my father.
Was your father in like the CIA in the 40s? like listening? Have you seen that movie, The Lives of Others?
No.
It's a movie about takes place in East Germany.
Yeah.
In like the 60s, and the main guy is a Stasi agent, and he's like listening in on like dissidents, people who are going against the East German police. And so the whole movie he's just like has this crazy equipment behind him, and he's just like listening in intently to like what these people are saying. There's like activists, and that he's trying to make sure that they don't fuck around. So that's why I feel like this is
Yeah. There's some threads there. It's like my mom was self-taught musically, and that was like so mind-blowing for me as a kid when because she played piano and sang beautifully, and I was like, how'd you learn? She's like, I taught myself. So I always had like that mentality growing up. And then my dad, I'd always see he had a workstation, always tinkering around, soldering things, building but it was just to like hack our house, which was pretty sick. Like make an attachment to a doorknob to make it more efficient, or like to turn a Xbox controller into a PlayStation controller. Like,
whoa,
just kind of random knickknacks. But I feel like that totally.
He was like a mad scientist.
For sure.
But a cool dad, though.
Cool dad.
Yeah.
100%.
Like old movies is like engineer dads in the basement.
That's
Like,
the sickest.
don't fucking, I'm working down here.
Yeah, and your toy breaks and your dad like, I'll fix it. Yeah.
Yeah, he fixed everything. Yeah, it was like incredibly convenient that every, like, especially when I got synths, you know, they'd break and then I'd be like, you know, fix the USB on it or something.
Daddy's got you. Yeah. give it to daddy.
But
so you taught yourself everything?
Yeah. And that time when I was young, like I had this really crazy pivotal experience. It's kind of funny you bring up the CIA movie because I kind of have a bit of a personal sort of conspiracy that has been revealed to me as of late.
About yourself?
Absolutely. Like when I was 9 or 10, I was in 3rd grade. I woke up one night with this absolutely horrific hallucination and basically have lived my entire life not knowing what this dream was. Come to find out, it's called geometric nightmares.
Geometric nightmares?
Have you ever heard of a geometric nightmare?
So
this was horrible as a 10-year-old that I couldn't explain. The most horrifying thing that's ever happened to me, which was basically I arrived in a gray room with this giant cube that was expanding as the room was contracting, morphing into noodles, hearing loud screaming and whispers and abstract and esoteric and completely weird, and my parents would I'd arrive to my parents sweating and screaming, and it was like absolutely horrific. And so it really like altered my life in that moment, because I started having day terrors where I would like be at school, I would draw shapes or things, and it would like trigger this nightmare. Come to find out, it's called a geometric nightmare. And I like found it on TikTok.
You weren't on salvia.
Absolutely.
You found it out. You found out recently.
Yes, and it was
okay.
So here's where my personal conspiracy
It sounds like Stranger
comes from.
Things. It sounds like you were a character.
I'm telling you right now, this is some
Did you just
real
watch
shit.
Stranger Things and you just had convinced that you're in it?
Yeah, because so I don't know if you've also seen this stuff about GATE.
GATE?
Yeah, have you heard of the GATE program?
No.
So this is some
Okay.
some real
I didn't
stuff.
realize actually with the you're the mad scientist too. We've gone into the basement.
I'm telling you, I think that what you're seeing is a reflection of this experience when I was little.
Yeah.
But basically, there's this program called the Gifted and Talented.
Oh, I was part of the Gifted and
Education.
Talented.
Yeah. G&T.
I was as well. And
But I didn't know there was a okay, tell me the conspiracy.
there is zero correlation to all of this.
Okay.
But
you're just
I'm
connecting
tying
dots.
together something
Okay.
because
And Epstein.
because I remember getting pulled out of class. I remember wearing headphones. I remember hearing these weird waveforms. And as I've sort of learned more about GATE, it's like about lucid dreaming. There's a lot of sort of crossover. And so at the time when I'm like learning about this and being like, wait a sec, I remember that. I also was stumbling upon geometric nightmares, which is also shapes, hearing voices. And so I was like, is there... And my life really drastically changed after
Is
this happened to
geometric
me.
nightmares a real thing, or is it like a TikTok invention?
No, 100% a real thing. Yeah, you can look it up.
Okay.
And the video that simulate what it's like is super close. Anyway, I went to counseling
So
for
what
a
causes
year.
it? Did they say?
I think the cause is that it's mainly when you have a fever as a kid. There's this moment where you get in between falling into REM, and it's basically your brain. I'm botching this, but it's basically your brain sort of like interpreting kind of reality in a weird low poly way.
Okay.
It's freaky, and I like.
And so it haunted your living
Absolutely. And I
well.
went to counseling for a year and worked through this thing. And I totally became this like really introspective person after that. And I feel like it's weird because I was like I found skateboarding. I was really wild as kind of like the class clown. And then after this happened, I became like really chill.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I kind of like learned, like, wait, there's a name for these nightmares. This is insane. I have to know more. And now I'm like hearing that other people part of Gate, there's no correlation, but I'm also like, I want there to be, because I'm like, why did I have this weird nightmare?
This is insane because I feel like so many adults currently are on TikTok and they're like, I have ADHD.
Yeah.
This all makes sense. But meanwhile, you're like, geometric nightmares.
Yeah.
This explains
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
And you guys have started an activacy
Well,
group.
It's this funny thing that like I literally slept with the light, the TV on ever since.
Maybe that's
like
what it was. Maybe you were just sleeping with the TV on.
Maybe,
Just
but
radio
it was,
waves.
Yeah, just Lynch. You're just watching David Lynch movies in the middle of the night. And so you think that had a long-term effect?
I feel like it got me into this way of thinking that was a lot more introspective, which I feel like the parallel there is that has kind of been, I feel like it has been this part of me that's kind of gotten me where I am today. I feel like I have like quite an intuition, whether it be just my own personal life, but also within art, creativity, like aligning to the zeitgeist. I feel like there was some convergence of self-awareness that was created.
You do seem
because of
particularly
that.
like tapped into the frequency of whatever's
moment.
of whatever's going on.
Yeah, I
Brian described
I want
you
to
as
think that it might be something about that, but
That.
also it
that
could
it
be.
zapped your brain, and now you can like connect to the algorithm.
It's weird. I have my own algorithm.
So it's
happening.
It clearly has, worked out well for you. But the nascent stages of this, what are your parents? What are they making of all of this? He's like, okay, he first came out as Deaton Chris Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
and now he's
Yeah.
just like really introspective and
He's
quiet.
getting he's having these cube nightmares. They're like, who's gonna take care of our son when we're dead?
And
Like,
now
what's gonna happen?
He's gonna move to LA now as Deaton Chris.
No,
Anthony.
my parents were so like I found skateboarding when I was 6, and it's like when I picked up something, it was like my life's mission was to be the best at that thing. So I think
Yeah.
my parents always had like a lot of security that if they were gonna like buy me a skateboard, I was actually gonna like try to get really good, or bowling, or they were
Yeah.
so supportive.
Well, that's what we were talking about, the skateboarder to like artist pipeline.
Yeah.
I think is very common, and I think it's because like the endless iteration and failure, like until you perfect something,
Yeah.
is baked in, and so I think what that sort of mentality and mindset like then can be transported into other that obsessiveness, which I feel like as people watching now could see, this is like 100 synthesizers that you're like figuring out and noodling with. That can only come with like a crazy patience that whatever, like Spike Jones or
Right.
whoever the Jackass guys, or Tim Robinson, I think is like a big skateboarder. And I think that's a good hobby. Parents out there,
Joachim Trier is a big skateboarder too.
how about that?
He was like the best skateboarder in
Yeah.
Norway.
That makes total sense to me. Well, that's not hard. Maybe there are like 3 of them. Best
It just takes over your life. I think it's like
is that
they-
accurate? Does that sound correct?
Oh,
That-
100%.
I was
Yeah,
really
it-
hoping you'd say no. It's
No.
like, no, it was actually geometric nightmares,
Yeah.
but nice try.
No, it's like you watch the skate videos, and it was like my first skate video was called Shorty's Guilty, and the first scene is these skaters who are at trial, and
And you dropped the
they-
hard R in that one, which I thought was weird. just
the
kidding,
film's
guys.
actually crazy. It was 6 years old. The ending of the film is they do what's it called when they firing squad. It was like literally a scene of a firing squad. It's just these cops like shooting these people in jumpsuits, and then they take the cops take off their things, and it's the skaters. Like the skaters
The
were
skaters are the
like,
shooters.
Yeah, I'm like watching this, like, dude, this is.
What is in your brain that you
What
made?
is this? Yeah, my parents were like not stoked that I was watching these skate videos with like really crazy music in it, but it was just it was a way for me to be like, this is like I had this control over my reality.
It sounds like you're like a big believer of these mantras of fake it till you make it, and
Yeah.
you just emanate this energy when the universe will follow.
100%.
So that's the LA in you though, and you've
manifested.
Well, it's like-
you've manifested.
You manifested this.
You know, skating does that where you idolize California, especially someone in the Midwest. This was what it was. Like I started in 99, so it was like the peak of Tony Hawk, like kind of commercializing modern skateboarding. And
Dogville,
you know,
bro, Dogville.
dude, I look to California as like that's where I'm gonna end up. So I've always
Right.
like my whole life I've wanted to end up here. And in this weird way, DCA was like my ticket to start fresh because, you know, I had like a bit of a reputation. I was making films, you know, back in Kansas, but I had this really crazy moment where I was just kind of like, who am I fooling? Telling people that, you know, Andrew is this guy that looks like this, that does these things. Like I felt so boxed in by this self-image I wanted online that it was so liberating to like delete all of my own personal social media as myself. And then I was just like, nah, I'm this guy Deaton, and it's whoever Deaton wants to be. So that I show up to LA like that, and it was just like, everything made sense then. It wasn't like, nah, my vibe is this. This is all I do. It was like, Deaton's everything. He sews, he makes music, he's doing this, he's wearing these wacky clothes. Like it allowed me to experiment and explore. And it was like a superpower.
Yeah,
Like it was insane. It was like the funnest time moving here. And
because it was a project in and of itself. It was a persona in a way.
yeah. And it was like, I made the Vine and it was funny and it was an inside joke. Also, my friends did think I was like going off the deep
And it went
end.
viral? The Vine went viral?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought
No, like
and that
10
Vine
views.
No.
changed my life.
But,
No,
but-
no,
but in his
absolutely.
heart, it went viral.
It went
down.
hard.
That's what's
Okay.
That's
But
what's important.
here's the funny thing. So at that time, okay, I got this name, and I was starting to learn to make music through my films. That I would make these really corny tracks that I would like send late at night to my friends. Like, hey, I've been thinking about you. Here's this thing. It'd be like a love song. And it was
your
just
friends
to
were
like,
like, I'm asleep. Please leave me.
yeah, it was just always
Please leave me alone.
hilarious. At least to me. And but then when I
They
like
called the police multiple times. They're like, this guy's really obsessed with me.
and but then I ended up like tearing down my whole room and I painted it pink. I like hung up all these posters. I created Deaton's room, and literally my friends were concerned because I stopped skating, and they were like, "Dude, where have you been? Like, come skate." And I'm like,
this is
I'm working on
insane.
something.
I'm glad it worked. This also sounds like the background for a school shooter. Like he stopped skating
think?
and he painted his house pink and he started sending us weird beep boop songs. Those are the two paths for this, and you succeeded wildly.
I guess you can draw that parallel. Yeah. It was just fun because I showed up with like as absurd of outfits as possible with the bowl cut, trying to stand out. And I
You were
would
that
like,
guy. So you wanted to create like a persona in the
for
world.
sure.
Yeah.
And it was inspired by this Instagram.
You're like West Coast Gus Dapperton.
It would be interesting to kind of round up all the bowl cut cats because I actually think there's quite some interesting
something going on.
crossover there.
Yeah, like
yeah.
what's gone on in your life?
Sort of the Oliver Trees of the world, Gus, myself.
The bull cut finds
maybe
you.
George Clanton in the mix.
Yeah.
There's a couple bull cat dogs that
Yeah.
are LA
You were peacocking a little bit.
for sure. And maybe we all lived a similar 90s experience with
Yeah.
bull cuts.
But I love that person in life where I go to like a party and there's just one person who's just has turned themselves into a character, like a movie character in real life. And it's like we're all just dressed boringly and this one person is just living large and it makes it like, yeah, it's a commitment though. It's like real life, like your drag, but it's your life.
incredibly fun to walk everywhere, head to toe with the stuff that I made, my own existence. But there was this moment, this really crazy moment where I had, made some friends, and I literally knew no one when I moved to LA. So it was just like, I have Instagram. I can just DM people and send them clothing I made, or, hey, let's make a song or something.
Did you have any career before that? Or like, had you
Did you
any
have a following
music or a
when you
following?
wrote?
No. Literally, I mean, I might have shown up with like maybe 1,000 followers or something on
okay,
Instagram. Like I had a few
Right.
people back home who were
Yeah.
like, you should make music.
Yeah.
You should do this. You should play live,
And you like willed your career into existence.
Yeah, it was just like show up and it's just like, I have this specific goal, which is like Deaton the superstar.
Yeah. You hear
Like,
that, everyone?
absolutely.
You have no fucking excuse. Not a Nepo baby. Got nothing. Just moved out here with just a bowl cut and
Geometric nightmare, a bowl cut, and a dream.
in the dream. And then a few years later, getting yelled at by Kanye. I mean,
That did happen. Yeah.
Wait, you produce music for what? You produce? I missed this whole conversation you're doing. I was like,
we'll get to it later. We'll get to it later. I buried the lead.
Yeah, that one's.
I just want our
we need
listeners to know
we
that
need a
this-
moment
this
for that
ends
one.
in,
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, that it's just absurd that it led there. I mean, that
Yeah.
was kind of the crazy thing, because like when I was like, okay, I have this idea now. It's supposed to be this psychedelic rom-com. I was like, okay, this character Deaton, where's he from? What's he do? What's his background? It was supposed to be, well, he's an aspiring R&B musician. And so I thought, well, okay, I need to make the albums to make the film. So it was like the music was always it was just a vehicle to make a film called Deaton Chris Anthony. But then I realized that I was having way more fun making the music. And then I was like, wait, maybe the film is Instagram. Maybe it's when you're swiping, looking at these photos and you're DMing Deaton, you're kind of entering the movie. Oh, there's something kind of interesting here. And that's when I was like, I can play with the zeitgeist. I can play with Instagram. I can play with this interesting medium. I can meet all these people. I can kind of like go Andy Kaufman a bit. But I was just having more fun than me being like, no, I'm still like, this is a film.
filmmaker.
And
Well,
it kind of, it went so
we've talked about this before, but there was I forget her name, but she was talking about like what the new art forms are, because everyone's talking about how like whatever film and novels, all these things are kind of like not relevant, and they're not relevant to culture, and a lot of people think culture is stuck, and she was trying to identify what the new art forms are.
Right.
And she identifies like the online persona as like an art project in and of itself. And there are these figures, like Bronze Age pervert on or whatever, like Carolyn Calloway. These people who live their whole life as this kind of online figure persona that it's like the tweets and what they look like and what they wear and their perform. Even like Rachel Sennett or something, where it's this whole entire package. And that in and of itself is like the artistic project of the now that feels current, where you're messing with identity and the relationship between like who you are and the persona online, your avatar. So in a way, that's what you were like subconsciously picking up on.
Oh yeah, because now I'm like convinced that everyone needs to do this, because even if you are sharing your genuine experience online, it's still through a perspective that you have control over. So it's not us standing in the room and I'm picking up on every nuance of mannerism or whatever, pick up on the spirit of you. But I feel like no matter what, you're always putting, even if it's you and this is genuine, it's still your persona. And so I was just like, might as well just go absolutely buck wild and just make this as crazy as possible, because like I want to see that. Like I would want to see someone doing everything.
Yeah, Ziggy Stardust or whatever.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to say that this was heavily inspired by this Instagram persona. Everyone has to go look at this guy. His name's Atul Red.
Atul Ram.
Atul Red.
Okay.
Atul Red.
Atul Red.
And it's I still to this day have no idea what this guy's vibe is. I have to show you. I have to show you, because it was like everything clicked when
Is
I
he
found
still
this.
doing his thing?
Because the first thought I had was, what the hell is going on here? Who is this guy? What is this guy's story? I was so intrigued that I was like, I have to make the same experience for someone else. I want someone to come on my Instagram and go, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, and like, is this real? What's going on?
Yeah, and so that was always the main inspiration. But I gotta shout out to my guy
Okay, to the
Tool Red,
original.
because
Tool Red.
That's what I do with clavicular now. that's what he's doing in a way. Is he's turned himself into
I think it's incredible.
like an extreme. Oh yeah, it's
I'm
the
a
best
fan.
shit.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, he's insane. And
I'm a fan
like,
of what
kind of a Nazi, but it's
like like I love the entertainment. I'll say
yeah.
that. You
It's
know,
all
the
every
entertainment.
the people who are succeeding now have realized that everything is wrestling, and like and while I feel like millennials were obsessed with authenticity and performing
Oh,
that
yeah. Right.
online, and
Big part.
and the people who succeed now realizing that like that's totally fake and not possible, and the way and and like being authentic is completely absurd.
Do you
And-
feel this way, Dean? Is authenticity a farce?
It's not loading, and that's interesting to me because I have Wi-Fi, so that's
Wow.
you're not meant to see it.
It's the geometric nightmares.
But restate the question. Sorry, I was distracted.
Is authenticity a farce?
Yeah, I would say. I think that that was something that I've been honestly struggling with. That I has been a goal of mine over the last few years, because what I realized was that you can kind of hit a ceiling with a persona. In the end of the day, you're pulling from your own experiences, but still you have this control over the shape. And I think in the end of the day, what's so fun about like watching people just exist, or people who just kind of hit you with the raw side because it's so relatable, that I think that I struggle with that. I want everything to look beautiful. I want everything to look curated. And sometimes I wonder if that like takes away the authenticity of the fact that like, yeah, it's floors are dirty,
Yeah.
you know, like everything's rough around
You want
the
to see your
edges.
girlfriend take a shit. You know, you want to imagine that she's just like a pure being, you know.
I wouldn't
not
say I
sullied.
want to see
And so
that.
you didn't want, but now you seem like a normal, chill dude now. You're not, I mean, maybe this is a different persona of.
Right. No.
You were going to leave and you're like, and you're this is a persona of like a chill.
Who is Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah,
who is
no.
What's
Andrew?
going on?
It's a good question. I'm still finding out. I think I realized that it was like jokes on me. Like Deaton Chris Anthony is Andrew. And that was huge for me because I was always like, nah, it's this funny thing I'm doing. And then I realized like, nah, I like all this stuff.
Right.
Like
Because I was looking up some old videos and yeah, I was like, that's not the guy who I like talk to.
No,
This is,
but I was kind of like, I was into that. Like
Yeah.
I liked my haircut. I liked my clothes. Like that's what I did. And I look back and I'm just like, crazy vibe that I was
and
emitting.
did it get you a career?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was like, again, it was like, it's a shame. I think a lot of artists don't give themselves permission to do everything, you know, because it doesn't make sense for their identity of who they want to be in the world. So when you let go of that, it's like, and the fact that I learned to sew, or like making rugs, or like doing like whatever I got my hands into, like it all made sense. Because I was like, what would this guy Deaton do? Well, for sure he does that.
Yeah.
Like for sure he does this. And then, and now when I like am away from DCA, I find myself going back in old ways of being like, nah, that's not, like I'm not that guy. And I'm like, nah, it sucks. Like I don't want to be that.
But can you access that again? Would you want to like wonder what to do? It's like, oh, what would Deaton do?
It's hard because I think that like that was it was like you said, the commitment. Like it was my entire 100% commitment.
So there's no part of you where you felt like you were a prisoner to your own creation. Or let's say you're like needle pointing something and you're like, I fucking don't want to do
No,
this,
that's
but
actually
this is for
exactly how it
This
felt.
is for Deaton.
Yeah.
So I
That's
have to
exactly
say-
how it felt. I struggled with that because I was a martyr to the art. I was like, I looked at this. That I really told myself when I made DCA, I was like, this is 10 years of
Yeah.
I'm going to make this body
Of a clown,
work.
kind of.
Kind of.
This is what it takes. If you're not Nepo, you gotta.
Yeah.
This is what
Like
it takes.
year 6,
This is what
I'm
you gotta
like,
do.
this sucks.
You have to destroy your own personality and just bury it 10 layers deep and just wear rugs that you make.
Very much so.
Go to parties.
and then
walk
friends
up to
being
people,
like,
go meow. you gotta walk up to people at parties and go meow.
Dude, stop.
And they're like, "Who's that guy at the party who meowed at everyone?" He's like, "He's actually a sick producer."
it's actually sick to think that it could have been that. Like it could have been. I could have been on like a furry tip or something.
Yeah.
Like it could have been anything. Just
you picked something.
I picked what I ended up picking, but
Well, you said it could have been a furry.
yeah,
tip?
it could like that could have been the thing. Like Deaton's a furry for sure, and then
But
like I
instead-
could have done that, and that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But
Would you
instead-
fuck as Deaton? Or would it? Okay.
That was a line cross. That was a
Okay,
line
sorry,
cross.
sorry. You don't have to respond.
I don't know if I 100% believe you.
Really?
Because there's like, okay, you say you could be a furry, but then you're saying you coincidentally landed on becoming a music producer to pop stars. Like, sure, which also happens to be one of the coolest jobs in LA.
Well, I guess I had it work for me in the end of the day, but honestly,
Truly,
to
yeah.
your point of if I'm fucking as Deaton, that was one thing where it was like, it's so funny. It's like I outputted as the character Deaton, which was like
Yeah.
the whole vibe was that he was very kind of Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumber-esque of
Yeah.
like always sort of lucky, but just kind of stupid.
Uh-huh.
And like I got into that mode and it was funny, but like I'd meet a girl at a party and like we'd catch a vibe, and then the moment they like fall on my Instagram, it's like it was a struggle. Like
Yeah, they'd
honestly,
realize, like-
dating was horrible because
Yeah,
it was like
wait, that was not the guy.
and then it
You
shined
thought you were a serial killer.
it shined a light of like, wait, you go to Instagram to find the real you? Wait, this is backwards. Like you
Yeah.
met me. You know who I am.
Right, right.
But then you go on there and it's like, whoa, this is what his vibe is? And it was really complex and actually kind of obsessed with that. That was my experience because it's
Interesting.
pretty funny.
But the music like, would you find that like you couldn't produce music as yourself? You actually had to do it through the character?
100%. And that's another thing that I kind of regret. It doesn't invalidate the music I made, but everything was always filtered through, no, this is, like Deaton wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Deaton would do this. And so myself would want to go somewhere, but I would hold it back because I was like, I'm this far into this project. Like I need to go all the way. I need to go to the end. And it drove me insane. I actually think that was like,
When did you shoot? When did you old Yeller Deaton?
well, Deaton lives on.
lives on,
Deaton's
okay.
forever. But I think that like the days of me getting on Instagram and changing the way my voice sounded and DMing in certain ways and talking in certain ways, like the interaction that it was, like that was probably like a few years ago where I was just like, okay.
Maybe
I mean,
it's less-
Deaton lives. He's
Deaton
here.
lives, okay.
Deaton's here to stay.
It's less like if we're doing Jim Carrey movies, it's not Dumb and Dumber. It's Me, Myself, and Irene.
You could say that.
Where that's, you're like, all right, I got to go and gonna change into Superman outfit and come out so I can produce.
Like I feel like I'm just shining a light on the fact that I have this whole thing is me just trying to figure out who I am.
Right.
Like, that's
Yeah.
and it's I don't know why
Bowler,
it was this
skateboarder.
whole way, but it's like every artist wants to make sense of why they do what they do, and
So you worked with like Charli XCX. Like what would like successful artists think of the Deaton character?
well, that's when it got really fun because it was like it wasn't just my music. Like it's really cool to be like I'm making an album and you round up all the friends and you do the thing, but the moment you start to like get to be of service to someone who's like at the top of their game, that's when I was like, oh, this is what it's all about. This is sick because
Yeah.
it's like I can't do everything, and I'm only as good as what I do, and then so when you kind of collaborate with someone like Charli, where it's like, dude, the sessions with Charli were absurd because I don't know if this is like outing her on this, but like the song we did, New Shapes, like that was one take. Like when we did the top line and the main, I think it was maybe your first verse, like she did one take, maybe two.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking in my head, like, do you want to maybe get a better performance? But it was like perfect first try. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is like,
She's got
this
it.
is like weird how good she's at doing this stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like I'm seeing greatness unfolding.
Yeah. And so when like obviously she was kind of always like big at one level, but then when Brad happened, were you like, oh yeah, I knew this was gonna happen for sure?
For sure. And I think that it was like it was like when Vroom Vroom dropped
Yeah.
in 2014 or something with Sophie, like we rinsed that. Like me and all my homies, like that was the shit. It was so ahead. And I feel like Brat in a lot of ways was a reincarnation of the spirit of Vroom Vroom. But it was so obvious. It's just so cool to see how everything aligned. Culture, the moment, visually, aesthetically, everything just so perfect. I was like that was the coolest display of what a musician can be.
So would you still be in character?
For sure, yeah. I
Okay.
was pulling up crazy fits, doing the thing, and it's kind of like you're a little bit of like sometimes I felt like a bit of an animal in a cage, like do something, you know, like like the mime in the corner. That's
Yeah, you're coming like just like one of the wild
say
things.
something funny, you know. They kind of look at me waiting for something.
Yeah.
But do a lot of people do this in LA? I'm sure since you were kind
Oh.
of doing a performance, like you can see it in other
Not
people
enough.
too.
I
you
really,
want more.
I think that they're subtle, but going all the way, like full
Right.
psycho,
Yeah.
dude. There got to be more of that. That's so.
You think
fun.
LA would be the place? That's the place
Right.
you come to recreate, to like, yes, a century of people coming out, shedding their Marilyn Monroe, you
Yeah.
know, shedding their home persona and becoming this new thing.
It just makes it so obvious that I'm from Kansas.
Yeah.
Like that's the most Midwest thing
Like, please.
ever. Like,
Yeah.
of course, it's like they say, you know, you come here for your dream. What is it? Fame and fortune or the weather? You
Yeah.
know, like of course it was fame and fortune. Of course, like the weather's nice.
Can you tell? You walk around, you're like, weather, fame and fortune. You're the weather, you're the fame and fortune.
You know, and it's like it's hard to distill it down to that, but that's just the truth about LA. You know, there's
I feel like a lot of
lot
people come for the fame and fortune and they stay for the weather
100%.
and convince themselves it was for the weather. Once the fame and fortune didn't work out, you're like, no, I just the lifestyle, you know, just like I didn't want to write sitcoms. Who the fuck wants that? I just like going on hikes. That's what I always wanted to do. That's why I abandoned my family and friends.
Yeah.
For
There's
hikes.
not a lot of enjoying LA. Like for so long there was no play for me in LA.
Yeah.
Like now I'm like golfing, like I'm doing recreational things, you know, enjoying my time. Like then it was like no time for fun. Like I'm here for my goal, which is to be the superstar.
Yeah.
And I'm like where did that come from? Like what why did I feel the need to do that? I guess that's maybe you want to look back in your 20s and go like you tried.
Yeah. And then you encountered an immovable object named Kanye.
An immovable object.
Yeah.
Dude, absolutely.
Yes, you work with them on Vultures.
I've worked on Vultures too.
How does something like that come about? Like your name's just thrown around?
Yeah,
and-
it's like you could go through the line of all the people that met that led you to this point, but I basically kind of got like big dogged by Billy Walsh, who's like an amazing writer. He did a lot of the post stuff, most of it. And I don't know. I don't really know exactly how it all kind of fell in, but I just got a call like, Ye wants you to come by.
Yeah.
And we're going to the Beverly Hills Hotel. FYI, album's coming out tonight, so it's going to get a little crazy. And I was like,
Wait, what?
Okay.
Oh,
The album's coming out tonight?
Yeah. And I was like, yes, this is,
Yeah.
I've heard these stories. Like,
It's kind of what do you want, actually. You're like, I don't want a normal session. I
I was like, this
fucking-
guy's going to fire everybody.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, I'm getting into something dicey, you know?
Yeah, you have to pack up like, your entire...
Well, that's the thing. So I was like,
collection.
okay, how do I... You're in a room of so many producers, right? They all have laptops. I'm coming with my Amiga. I have to.
Yeah.
So I
Can you explain to people what the
What's an
Amiga-
Amiga?
What do you mean?
What is it like? Just like
Oh,
to
the Amiga
listeners-
is
yeah.
so it's like it's a computer from I think it came out in the mid '80s, but before like Microsoft took over, like Amiga was top dog computer. Like all the graphics were better, but there's a chip in it that has really pretty good audio. That's 8-bit, And so a lot of these kids, mainly in the UK, were sampling old soul records and stuff and then created genres of music. And that's where
Like jungle? Okay.
comes from. And so, of
From
course,
the Amiga.
100%. Atari as well, but I think the Amiga for sure has a sound.
Was there a specific program on the Amiga that people use for it? Or?
Mainly, so I use Octamed, very popular. There's also Pro Tracker. There's a couple others, but those are kind of the two like most popular.
Yeah, and it still works. It's a computer from the 80s, and it still works.
Oh yeah, and that was the thing. It was like it's weirdly fast, like sometimes faster than my laptop.
Whoa.
Because it's like it's not a very clean sound. It's crunchy.
Yeah.
But when that becomes the cool sound, it's like this thing's fast and it kind of looks sick. And then you kind of look at it as like, whoa, what's going to come out of it? So you kind of put this emphasis on it. Anyway, I was like, I'm pulling up on Ye with the Amiga. That's
So you got known, and you got known in production circles for working with the Amiga.
Absolutely.
Like that was your...
Absolutely. Yeah, because I started
your
making
Les
all
Paul
these videos where I was kind of almost making skate videos, like filming myself doing a line, you know, going from this synth to this synth to this synth and making a song live. And then the Amiga was always kind of the thing where it's like, it's so cool to look at. So I'm like, I'm pulling up with this. This is going to be kind of my gimmick. You know, and so anyway, I had this rig that was like, it was like basically one of these squares, like heavy and a lot of old equipment.
Yeah.
And so I'm driving to the Beverly Hills Hotel and I get there. And as I'm pulling up to the room, like I had sort of the service out in the parking lot, take all my gear and like meet me at the room. Well, it's like a maze there.
Yeah.
And I finally arrived to the room as Ye and I think Billy and a few other people are walking out and I meet them. They're like, we're getting kicked out. We're too loud. So like, we're going somewhere else.
The moment you came in.
Yeah. And then they all kind of passed me and I'm like, well, where are we going? Like, wait, my stuff is getting cold. So I had to like go through the maze and find
My computer, guys. Mr. Ye, sir.
Yeah, and I get in the parking lot with my stuff, and I just see like the Lambo, like Maybach, like just zooming off, and I was just like, "Was that it?" Like, and luckily Billy was like, "Here we're going to this studio." So then I like load everything up. Dude, I pull up to the studio and kind of put my stuff in a room, and it's kind of quiet. Like I guess not everyone pulled up yet.
Had they said what they wanted from you?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So every producer, do they just come with their special like talent?
They should,
roll
but
up?
mainly it's everyone's pulling up to the laptop. But like, yes, I
Okay,
think
it
every
feels like a
producer
video
should come with
game.
their gimmick. That's cool. Like,
What makes them special?
for sure.
Okay, sorry. We keep interrupting.
So anyway, I just a funny note. Like I was at the time like driving my girl's car. That was a Prius.
Okay.
So I parked my Prius next to the one of those crazy Lamborghini SUVs, Ferrari, maybe. Like it was a funny scene. I'm like, dude,
Your soccer mom car.
yeah, like I'm here, and I get in, and I basically am wandering around, and then I go into the main studio room, and I see Ye, like I'm not kidding, hunched over eating Chipotle.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of like walking
Is
around
he a
the room.
carnitas guy, or
and
what's
he
his?
just, it was a bowl.
Okay.
It was
healthy.
looked like a bowl. I was like, okay, there's Ye sitting there eating Chipotle. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down on this couch. And I come and ass hits the couch immediately. He goes, you in the corner. And I was like, oh shit, my bad. Yeah. And I like kind of stand in the corner. I'm like, okay, wait, the producers are over here at this table. I'm like, okay, fuck. So I'm just like, this isn't going well. And then Billy comes in and he's like, yo, we got Deaton in the mix. It's going to go crazy, dude. You brought your old Amiga. Like, yeah, like, yo, he's going to make the hardest shit, you know, like gassing me up. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go.
Pressure's on.
Yeah.
And then basically, he turns to me, he goes, all right, Deaton, what I want. And I was like, holy shit. He just called me Deaton. Like, that's
Crazy.
insane. He's like, I want these murder drums. Like, I want this shit to knock. I'm like, oh, yeah, murder drums. Like, I think I know what that means.
Yeah. You think?
Like I thought like maybe some Memphis shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's murder beats. I don't know.
Right.
But I'm like, yeah, I can make knocking drums for sure. Goes on a rant and he's like, sends me into the room, like across, which has like glass that you can see through, you know, where they would record the vocal, right?
Yeah.
And so I get in there and there's this little gray table. And I'm not kidding. I have this entire case. It's like 100 pounds. And I lift it up and slam it on the table. Table literally collapsed.
Oh my God.
And all my shit tumbled with my mixer. Like
My computer.
like through the glass. And I'm like, I don't think they saw me. But I'm like,
Yeah.
if they did, this is so fucked. And I pick all my shit up. My mixer broke, like a piece off. I'm like, I just was
This is a
feeling
bad
really
day.
confident
Yeah.
because of Billy. And now I'm like sweating. I was like actually sweating. Finally get my stuff on the table. And this producer comes in, like huge blunt, like super high, kind of comes in as I'm setting up. And Ye was like, make this drum loop over this stem, like a loop or whatever. And he comes in, and as I'm kind of trying to program it, he's just like, yo, what the hell? What is this? Like, what are you on? Wait, come see it. So I got this like 3 people around me, like,
Yeah.
what the hell's he doing? And I'm like,
show us your
I'm like,
gizmo.
yo, like 1 sec. I'm like making this thing, and they're talking, and then he like plugs in his laptop. Immediately just like rage beats, so the sub is crazy in the room, and I'm like trying to program my shit, and then Ye comes in like, Dean, like, what's taking so long, you know? And I'm like, 1 sec,
Yeah.
like, I'm making the thing. He's
Yeah, like
when
the
is it
guns,
gonna be
to,
done?
the guns to your head. It's like
I was
that scene
just
in
like-
Swordfish.
Yeah, actually. And so I finally get the thing, and I come in the room. At this point, there's like 15 dudes in the room.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wait, was it
gosh.
to a
Like-
song that already existed, or
Yeah.
was it like from scratch?
Yeah. It was like one of the songs that had instrumental. They needed some murder drums on it,
Yeah.
which I was like,
Sure.
I don't know, stupid enough to not to maybe ask what that. I mean, what you're gonna ask Ye what murder
yeah,
drum is?
no.
Like, of course I understand what murder.
Just do and ask for forgiveness later.
Yeah, I don't know if I do that
I don't
because then
even-
you get murdered. That's the thing. Maybe that's what murder drums are. If they're not good drums, you get murdered.
It was anything at that point, but I was
Yeah.
like so confident. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I got this. And I come in with my laptop, and there's 15 dudes in the room. Everyone's like pretty intimidating, you know.
People you
and-
knew?
No,
Okay.
not a single dude, except for Billy. And I come in with my laptop, and Ye just comes right up to me, like, and he was like, play that shit. And I like put the aux in. It's like, and I like hit play, and he's just staring at my computer, and it hits the first kick drum. Like I play the beat.
Yeah.
He goes, "Doof." And he goes, nah, fuck that shit. Next one.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, what do you mean? He's like, you ain't got nothing else. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, no, this is the thing I made, dude. He's like,
Oh my God.
play it again. So I play it, and it's like a drum break. And he's like, oh, that, take that shit out. I said, murder drums. I was like, no. What do
It's like
you
you're getting
mean? I don't
punked.
know.
It's like,
And then sent me in the room, and then I just, like, that was it. Never talked to Ye again. I just
Really?
made beats in the other room, like, watching him freestyling all day, like 10 hours at the
Yeah.
mic.
but did you get stuff on the album?
And then, yeah, just like the album came out, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, the album came out, and then I'm just like listening on Spotify, and I'm like, holy shit, that's
My
thing.
thing. You didn't even know. Thought you
And
got
it
cut.
wasn't from that day.
Okay.
I basically left that day, which actually this is a funny thing too. Like, so it's like 10 hours, like just making so much sub bass, you know, like it's so loud all day.
Yeah. Maybe that's why you have a headache, by the way. You were telling me you had
Dude,
headaches.
the headaches in the studio are relatable. It's a lot. But there's like 20 people in this room, like, and Billy comes in like, thanks guys, like, great work. Ye like comes through him. He's like, nah, they coming with. Tell them bring their laptops. I'm like, where are we going? And they're like, yo, this guy needs a ride. And I'm like, where are we going? It's like this one German dude who was brought on to do strings.
Yeah.
So I'll like get an address, and I'm just driving for an hour and a
This
half.
is not an efficient way to make an album.
Just driving. I'm like, where are we going? pull up to this warehouse. Turned out to be a listening party where they were playing all the shit we just made.
Yeah.
It's like 5 a.m. I go home. That was it. I didn't hear from anyone for like weeks, and I was like, okay, that was that was it.
That was your shot on goal.
Yeah, and then I was like getting in and out with my ex, and we're just like on our way to get in and out, and then I just get like 6 text messages, just being like, "Yo, you in LA? Yo, like where you at?" Like 6 different numbers. And I'm like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Ye wants you to come back. Like we need this one instrumental." Okay, babe, we gotta turn around. And then I just mobbed it to the studio, and literally Ty came up to me and he was like, "Yeah, that one beat that's like, that one that's like, da, da, da." And I was like, "Which one?" And he was kind of saying it, and I was like, "Oh no, they think I made this beat.
Yeah.
It's someone else. Oh no."
Oh fuck.
And then so I was like, "Oh, this is a disaster." And then it turned out to be this loop I made. And then I like went on Spotify like a year later
That's
or
crazy.
whatever it was, and it was on there, and I was just like, and then it had Lil Wayne on it, which I was
Whoa.
like,
Sick.
dude,
That's
Crazy.
amazing.
out Tunchi.
That's
Actually insane.
That whole story, it's such a thing on comedy podcasts where comedians will talk about their experiences auditioning for Lorne Michaels at SNL.
yeah. Where it's a humiliation ritual.
But this sounds like that to the 1000th degree.
Yeah. I mean, I've had it similar. I worked with like a comedy icon, and it was similarly kind of insane like that. And I was scared shitless because I was like, this is my one opportunity.
Yeah.
And if I don't have a chance to prove it, like, it's not going to happen. And then, like, I'm trying to pitch jokes, and his kids are running around shooting us with BB guns. I'm like, no, okay, but I really like this. This is a huge opportunity for me. And your son is shooting me with the BB gun, and you're going to meet your trainer. And like, I would love to actually pitch jokes right now. And to them, they're like, I don't give a fuck.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
No,
I
it's
mean,
good.
it's just like it sort of. Then it's like when you have a magical session with an amazing artist, you're just like, wow, this is so amazing. Music's awesome. Like, I love the contrast, and I only hope the best for him.
He seems to
like,
be, This week he seems good. He likes Jews this week, so we'll see. See what next week how he feels about us.
Oh, it's
we're coming out of time, but we wanted to give our listeners kind of a, for those listening or aren't watching, like, Deaton is really just in front of an insane amount of cables and wires and machines, and we thought it'd be fun if you could kind of.
Well, funny, I'd tell one quick story about this brown synth behind us. So I would say in a lot of ways it's kind of the holy grail.
Okay. For you or just
this system in general. I think a lot of synth nerds really look up to this guy named Rob, and he's insane. He's invented a couple modules, and he's super punk when it comes to his design philosophy.
When was it made?
So this is actually a modern system. I think it was, this one maybe is from 2012.
Okay.
Something like that. But basically it popped up, and the guy who was selling it in Chicago, he was just like, you have to come to Chicago. Like, I'm not shipping this thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude. And he was just, like, bless his heart, but it was a hassle. It was a hassle to convince this guy I was going to take care of this thing. But anyway, I flew all the way to Chicago and pulled up at his house, and there it was. And then he had 2 extra modules that are up top. And I shipped him home, and it was a whole ordeal, but it didn't come with the case. Well, it did come with the case, but not for all of them. Mm-hmm. This wooden case popped up on Reverb.
Which is like a
marketplace.
It's like eBay for music gear.
Yeah.
And it's highly addicting. I'm on there every day.
Yeah.
And just wanting the next rare thing.
Yeah.
But a case popped up. My friend sent
You're
me.
competing against Questlove. Just.
Yeah, I mean, actually, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Like 100%. But the case popped up, this wooden case. And it turns out it was actually Rob's case, which was cool. He passed away.
Oh,
so I think that's maybe why the systems are a little bit more rare, because he'll never make them again.
Yeah. And he's just like he didn't work for a big company. He's just like himself.
No, this dude is like as punk as it gets when it comes to like design of gear. But
and what does it do? Like to people who have no idea, and definitely not me. I totally know what it is, but for other people who like have no idea,
No, I have no idea.
You can make it sound like the most normal synth. It's gonna be mono, so it's like if you want to make like the fattest bass line or something, like you can do that. But if you want to make straight beeps and bloops, you can do that. I think the system lends itself to go instant techno.
Okay.
It's very kind of glassy. There's crazy modulation. But basically, like, I put the synth together, and it was like I had to solder some things, and I put this thing together. And I finally stood back and was like, wow, I've always wanted this system. And the next morning I woke up, and it was a photo of Rob, like, waving.
Whoa.
And it turns out that day that I built it, like, was the 3rd anniversary of him passing away. And I really was like, he was like waving at me like, dude, you put my synth together.
Yeah.
Like, thank you, you know? And it was just, so I have this, I guess maybe this is my synth that is my friend in a way.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, it's a spiritual, it's like a spiritual
friend.
device for me. I really, it's kind of my new, like, my new gimmick, I guess you could say.
And it's replaced the Amiga.
But it's like the coolest sounding thing. It sounds insane.
Yeah. And so you use it for your own music or for producing?
For sure. But I think, honestly, a lot of the scoring stuff that I'm doing now, it is just insane for doing any sort of mood that lends to curiosity, to something a little tense. Like, I can get crazy textures out of it.
And why, like, you know, you have a lot of analog synths all over and old computers, and like, why do you know, you said there are producers who just use Ableton and just fuck with shit on their laptop. Like, what draws you to the analog stuff or the vintage equipment? Like, what is the sound that you're chasing, or why can't you get that on just a computer?
Obviously, the sound is incredible. Like, the sound is actually different. But I'll reference a Prince quote, which is, I guess he would, if he used something digital, he would record it out of the speaker in the room to make it real. And I think that the fact that there's actual electricity running through, there's matter, it's real, it's physical. It's like actually vibration. And these are true frequencies. It's not just ones and zeros on a computer. Even the digital gear I have is ones and zeros, but it's still going through a converter to analog to go into these jacks. So it still has a texture to it. And I feel like the more that you dive into sound, you start to pick up on these almost unheard feelings that come from certain things. I think it's not just your ears, you know? I feel like music, like, especially making music in a studio like this, like, you're not just hearing what you're making, you're also feeling it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and that's what's so cool about how big the room is when you get 4 or 5 homies in here all making, you're outputting creativity and ideas that ruminate in the room. That's why they kind of say that, like, recording to tape, like, magnetically, if you cultivate a real vibe in a room, like, that can inject itself onto the tape. And so that's why they kind of say these certain records from the 50s, 60s, 70s, you know, they have this vibe to them. I genuinely feel like just the energy in the room that was recorded was nuts. And like, so I try to bring that.
You can hear the
to,
different instruments and the different mics and like, and where
and just like you.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a little inanimate, but that keeps me aligned to not just living up here. It's really hard sometimes as a musician to not just live like between your head, you know, right. you want to get in your gut, you want to get in your heart. It's easy to forget that. So I feel like the physical things, they keep me there. Do you want to hear it? Do you want to hear the shit? Or we'll really go crazy. Here's this track with PinkPantheress. Maybe she'll be upset if I show this, but let's turn it over. So I just have the audio coming in. So if I turn this knob all the way right, Let's go back to the beginning. So this is the synth interpreting this audio so you can reduce the amount of voices of the synth. So that's her singing. Now I can pitch it up. You can hear the drums come in. And then you can just go fully ambient with it. So super sick to be able to, you can also freeze the chords though. So it's super sick to be able to like, I could take any song. So basically what it's doing is it's like, you know, like I said, talking about noise. That's like every frequency that exists, right? Like on a spectrum. When we listened to that scale earlier, that's actually like sort of nature's scale. And that's within every like piece of music. And that's basically a harmonic. At least that derives of it. And so basically what this is doing is it's like finding these peaks within the spectrum of audio to analyze what you're hearing. So it's basically like converting the audio that's coming in into these peaks that makes you feel like you're hearing the song. And so then it just has features where then you can like morph all the audio and have it have a long tail or pitch it up or pitch it down or turn the waveform. So that's kind of what you're hearing is like. So I can turn it into a saw wave. Now square wave. Sick tool to take any song, interpret it into the synth, and then you can just find chords and progressions or steal a bass line or steal the vocal melody. And it's original because it's your kind of fucked up take on it. That's it. That's what I do.
Well, Deaton, thanks for joining us on the Middlebrow pod.
Yeah.
Hope that was
Thank
okay.
We all
survived.
stand here because this is.
We have to stand here because we turned off the camera. Sick. Well, for our listeners, where can they find and discover and play around with your work?
Soon I'm going to be launching a music house that's like based on my studio. So all of my scoring work and this record steampunk that I've been working on for years is going to be released through that. And it's slowly but surely coming out. I have 75 tracks that I'm going to drop across 5 different genres. So that's why it's taking so long. And then, Instagram.
Like the magnetic fields.
Yeah, for sure.
You're prolific.
Sick.
Great. And, subscribe to our YouTube. Get on that Patreon if you're not already. We're putting up bonus episodes, newsletters, merch.
Ooh, merch.
Yeah.
It's all in the works.
Some merch. Yeah, let me get some merch.
Some Middlebrow merch, baby. Oh, you're going to get a hat. And then you'll be able to cut it.
Yeah.
Cool as that. All right, everybody.
All right. Thanks,
See
everyone.
you next week.
Thank you.
Okay, that was Middlebrow.